Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. Well, I'm going through all my tour and theatre programs from over the years, and this, of course, was EVITA. Very nice cover, gold embossing. I was very excited to see EVITA because it's one of the few plays I knew about when I was growing up. My sister's drama teacher played EVITA in a local production, and that was sort of, we all knew about that. It was very exciting to have someone we knew being the star of EVITA. So yes, now this one, a little bit on EVITA herself, of course, Emma Perron, played by Tina Arena. Now Tina Arena is an interesting character. She was a child star who, some child stars come out of being a child star, being, yes, a very interesting person. The production was great. It was the original staging though, so some of it was, I felt they could have done a lot more, but it was interesting to see kind of how it would have been back when, you know, they originally staged the show back in the day. So it was interesting on that element, but there were times where I felt like obviously they could have done more and they would have done more in a modern production. Now that guy, Kirk Hensley, he actually was friends with a guy I knew, and he was talking to me, and I bumped into him after the play on the same night, and I said hello to him. I said, "Are you who I think you are?" He said, "Who do you think I am?" And I was going to mention our mutual friend, and I couldn't remember his damn name because he's got a really difficult to remember name that he never uses. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to sound like an idiot if I can't pronounce his name. So I just said something about, you know, a Perron or something. Not that he was a Perron, but yeah. So I had to like let that go. But it was nice to bump into him. Cute guy, nice guy. Great performance. I noticed they had like a spit net over the orchestra for obvious reasons. Some very impassioned performances. But yeah, costuming was great, acting was great, staging was good, but it was very simple. But in a way that was nice. Not only was it just like a little history lesson, going back in time, seeing how it would have been done back in the 80s, but also it just wasn't too complicated, that you weren't really looking so much at the production, more so the performances. So there's a benefit to some of that. So we have, of course, the ensemble cast, and there were a few of them, as you can see. All different acts. More photos of the cast. It's so nice to look over all this stuff. The iconic balcony scene, which has been ruined by Rachel Zegler, whatever her name is. I can't believe they do that. You pay for. See, if I'd been watching this and suddenly EVITA disappeared and was like singing to the crowd outside, getting a free show when I paid to see this moment, I would be irate. So I'm glad I got the original staging now, and now I remember what they've done with the new staging of the play, but they're just doing that so people will talk about it and carry on and get them press and attention like I am and other people have been, because it's on the news, and otherwise it wouldn't be. Now Tina Arena is an interesting character. Now I waited at the stage door to meet the guy more so than her, but he didn't come out, but she did. And she was all dressed up like some 50s actress. She had this big huge hat on, like she was trying to avoid, you know, the crowd, the fans, and I was the only person there. And she looked at me and I looked at her and I'm like, she doesn't want to be bothered. So I just let her go. She went and got in this dinky little car. I'm like, I hope she lent it off someone that she knew in the area, because it was pretty bad. I'm like, why is she driving that? I guess she just doesn't want to be recognised. So there's a bit of history on the show. Creatives. I kind of wish I'd at least spoken to her, but she just looked so weird, and I just was like, I don't want to bother her, but I also don't want to talk to her because I think it's going to be a freak show. And then when she was driving, because I was pacing backwards and forwards, because I also had to wait for my sunscreen to soak in before I could start walking away from the art centre, which I think is where it was. When I got down to the end was where she was just leaving in the car. So she sort of looked at me again through the windscreen. And I'm like, I'm not stalking you. I'm just walking down to the end of the thing and back. So she just took so long to actually get ready and go. She was still in the car before she actually pulled out. But she probably would have loved to have thought someone was stalking her. But yeah, God, that's an awful cover. I don't know why they went with the rainbow flag version of it. But I didn't buy I actually didn't really buy any merchandise. I should have, but the only thing with the nice artwork that we have here is actually on the program anyway. So aside from a keyring or a mug, I don't know did I buy something else? If I bought something else, I can't even remember what it was. But that was EVITA. The story wasn't changed much from the original production. Pretty much everything, from what I can understand, is the same. I know a bit more about her now than I did, so you sort of see it a little bit differently. Same with the film. But it was a great production. I'm so glad I saw it. I'm glad it came to the town. And I'm kind of glad I saw the retro version. But I'm going to go. Feel free to subscribe, comment, let me know what you thought of the Art Centre version of EVITA.